Oh, welcome back to another edition of the Life Be Life podcast. Back up on the scene, nah, man. I'm your host, Tony D.
And I'm your host, D to the J. Still in the building like I ain't never left. Boy, it feels so good. Bro, what's happening with you, man?
Man, I cannot call it, bro. Hey, it's another Wednesday, bro. Happy to
Yeah.
be in front of y'all, man. Hope y'all enjoyed the last episode. Hey, things are starting to gain a lot of traction around this camp, man. So when we reaching out, asking people like, yo, get on board, man. Hey, pretty soon it's finna be all aboard. And we
Yeah,
finna
you
be
heard me.
about this joint. So
Hey, bro.
overall, man,
You heard
health,
me. Blessings.
strength, right mind,
Yeah.
like I really can't ask for nothing more because if I start talking about more, then we
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
diving right on in. So what about
Yeah.
you, man? How you doing this Friday? I mean, this Wednesday rather. I said Friday.
Hey.
Golly, I'm ready for it.
Hey, man, it's another Won't He Do It Wednesday. He done it once again. You know what I'm saying? Look,
Hey,
I'm so happy, man, just to really be able to meet a lot of new people, getting information in this new perspective from other communities. It's so refreshing, man, and it's also eye opening to a lot of things that you know what have to find a way to do more, and unfortunately, time isn't always there. So whether that's figuring out how we gonna put a little something to the side out of every paycheck, but what can be done? So, man, it's just a level of gratitude. Tonight's topic is hope. I'm very excited about it, bro, because there's a lot that I know you got going on in your life. There's things that's happened previously in our lives. Sometimes you gotta lean on hope just to get by. Sometimes you can't even see the hope. Yeah, I mean, like this is one of them things, man. Like I'm excited. I'm excited. You can just feel this energy. Hey, what that boy Vashawn Mitchell said, and it's turning around. Like it's turning around, bro. Like you can just see things, and I don't mean podcasts. I ain't talking just about on the job. It's just in personal life. I'm just talking about every aspect, man. So
yeah, big facts, big facts.
look, I'm ready to. I'm just excited. Life
Yeah.
gonna keep on life, and we're gonna be here to talk about it. And I'm, I'm ready to get it jumping.
Well, man, before we get too far off going, because we already know this topic is finna, you know what I'm saying, take
Yeah,
off like you
yeah.
saying, boat. Um, don't forget to get your life gear, man. Check it
Mm-hmm,
out. We got the shirts.
mm-hmm.
I know it's a little bright on my end today. Bro got on a different version. Um, of course, we still got the tumblers. We got things
Yeah,
cracking, man.
yeah,
Now, I'm not
yeah,
gonna dive.
yeah,
I'm not gonna dive too far into it tonight, but
yeah,
check it out, man. We got some things cracking. We have a logo that we've used before, and I think I got a little. Well, I'll show it next week. But anywho,
yeah.
we got a certified lifer logo, man. If you want to become a certified lifer, you gotta hit us up. You gotta inbox us, email us. You know what I'm saying? Text us if you got the number.
Yeah.
Find out how you could be a certified lifer, man, because there are perks. And then you're gonna have a shirt with a slightly different logo with the big QR code in the middle that simply says certified lifer from Life Be Life and Podcast. Actually, y'all, hold on.
Yeah.
Bingo.
Yeah. There it
So
is.
that joker right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what you go get, you know what I'm saying? Because you a certified lifer, becoming a sponsor, partnership, whatever the case may be. Now, let me say this. When you become a certified lifer, everywhere you go, people want to know, hey, who we are. All you gotta do is have them scan that QR code.
That's
But
facts.
check it out. everybody is not going to get that shirt. You got that's specifically a sponsor shirt, y'all. So tap in with us, man. Hey, we ain't busting heads either. It's you know what I'm saying. I don't like to use the word cheap. You know what I'm saying? Because that seems like it brings down the value
Value, yeah.
of your product, but it's definitely affordable. So y'all got to get
Yeah,
in.
everything is cost efficient. The benefit in a lot of things that we're doing is really allowing us to have or get to the resources to be able to do the things for others that until that way is made, which again goes into tonight's topic of hope. The things that we're hopeful for, the things that we're looking for. As we get into that. So yeah, it just allows us to do things that we're trying to do for the community, for others, to where, them pockets get tight with kiddos and things like that. So
Yeah.
not only are you supporting the movement, but you are assisting in the cause that is of a greater good. So, shout out to that.
Yeah, indeed, bro. All right, man. I mean, I guess without further ado, man, you know what I'm saying? All minds are clear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's run it.
The views and opinions expressed on the Life Be Life in podcast are solely those of the artists, producers, guests, and hosts of the show. Any numbers, stats, or stated resources that are given, we do ask that you verify that information for yourself.
Yo, this is Ryan the Gamer, owner of the Snack Boys. You are now tapped into Life Be Life podcast.
They care about team too. Life be life, no cap.
Hey yo, life be lifing, so let's talk about it. Tune in now.
Man, if y'all haven't been tuned in to the Life Be Lifing podcast, y'all sleeping.
Back up on the scene, man.
Madam me, you know a thing guy, the one dream is it. East Kingston, St. Louis. I mean, I say y'all teared up the boredom for no sort of thing, and normal. I mean, I say y'all rocky. Keep calm and kill it, them outside. Love stack just gone up. Y'all I rush me like pop star. But you know we grew rough. And you see how it feels so good. Be a crush ice in a cup. I agree with a great mood. But if you're this, you will get crushed.
St. Louis bad man. Or I ride through the city with the 40 like a Sunni out in Baghdad. Politicking cash plans. Wanna see if I can fit a whole 1,008 grams in this man bag. Man, them a small thing in it. Ever shoot a shot, you know I call green in it. Whole squad handle like a ball team in it. My run up on you like a call screen in it. Crush them. I hit him, and him. Had your family front row where the man singing hymns. Freddy Krueger in the room and Xanny users. Turn them to a pack, you know I had to do it. Hey, you gon' do it or you ain't. Fake it, you gon' prove it or you can't. Send it over to us, you better move in the tank. Say he the king of what? He confused, ain't a gang. For real.
Keep calm and kill it, them outside. Love stack just gone up. Y'all I rush me like pop star. But you know we grew rough. And you see how it feels so good. Be a crushed ice in a cup. I agree with a great mood. But if you're this, you will get crushed.
It's all about outlasting the illusion. Image yourself, better have resolution. Islander one with your stranded confusion. Made it back, outstanding execution. Welcome me back, family. Mezcal, little ice, nothing that fancy. We don't walk about with steppers that can walk it out after mental collapse. Hope you're not that mad at me. Game for the resources to thrive with. Gotta stay alive, pride's all you can die with. People left and right fighting for their life, and I was just really pulling up to kick it on some flies. Know yourself, play your strengths, do it dash. That way you don't get confused with my shit. Them backhanded compliments ain't getting bash. Or maybe Rockwell's tripping on some hot shit.
Keep calm and kill it, them outside. Love stack just gone up. Y'all I rush me like pop star. But you know we grew rough. And you see how it feels so good. Be a crushed ice in a cup. I agree with a great mood. But if you're this, you will get crushed. Madam Me. You know a thing guy, the one Gene is it. East Kingston, St. Louis. I mean, I say y'all teared up the bottom for those of the thing are normal.
In this joint. So we had to run it back from the last show with T-Dub. We didn't get a chance to come back to play the whole song. So we wanted to get that done tonight, bro. So
yeah.
All right, man. We talking about hope tonight, man. How we kicking this joint off tonight, bro?
All right. So look, just to kind of let everybody that's just now tapping in, regardless of the format that you see in the song, thank you, lifers, welcome. Look, we've heard and read about hope. We've all had to, or we're going to need to lean on hope as a way out. But for some, hope isn't found. The crazy thing is, for some, hope is really just a mythical word, bro. It's not applicable to their lives. And let's be honest, if you have kids in school in this day and age, you definitely need hope. So tonight, bro, what we're going to do is we're going to take this concept of hope, and I want to look at it from so many different angles. I want to be real transparent, man, because sometimes people can't really receive what you kicking in, but what you're going to give them, unless you first kind of give them. You know, it's a scripture that, you know, until you meet their needs, that the people won't receive you. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it's like folks you can't tell somebody something good is going to happen, but their immediate needs you won't even address. So full transparency, bro, as it pertains to hope, man, is there an area, anything in your life that you want to talk about a little bit more elaborate? You know, people that follow you, they seen the post. I'm gonna turn it over to you.
Yeah, man, big appreciate it. Man, where do I begin? So I made a series of Facebook posts last weekend, this upcoming week, man, just kind of putting some context out there, you know what I'm saying, for the show. So again, age of 48, bro. Like, I know we've talked about it in a sense before, bro, but to be 48, you know what I'm saying, to be in all my kids' life, to be married, you know what I'm saying, we are a few months from 20 years, no extra kids, no extra chicks, no extra dudes, no, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a blessing.
Yeah, facts.
All of that happened. Life was life, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, for real. Like, take a step back really quick and just how society already views us, you know what I'm saying? And when I say us, I'm speaking from young men, particularly young Black men, that's coming from a one or no parent home, should I say. Yeah. The odds are already stacked against you, man. You guaranteed to, you know, not finish school. You're guaranteed to catch a case. You're guaranteed to have 25 different kids all over. You're guaranteed to be in a physical, you know what I'm saying, altercation relationship, an abusive relationship. It's a lot, you know what I'm saying, that people look for when they see you, especially when they start to learn your background. And y'all know, we talked about it before, man. The abandonment issues that I had. The craziest thing, bro, that I tripped off of now. And when I say now, not this minute, but over the last year or two, because I've kind of brought it up here and there. It's a trip, bro. Like, so because I came from a broken home, I continued that cycle. So I talked about, you know, where my oldest daughter, who's getting ready to be 30 this year, she was born when I was in Korea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My now 25-year-old, I met her mom when I came back from the military. So boom, there's another child. The thing is that sometimes we do things out of impulse and not out of necessity. Let me put my disclaimer here. As I go on and I talk about some of these matters today and some of these situations and give you a glimpse, I never wanted, even if I forget to double back and say it, wholeheartedly, I love my kids. My kids are not a burden. I'm simply saying in my mindset, there are some things that I feel like that I could have, should have, would have did different.
Yeah.
And so now here I am, married, 2 kids by my wife. They've seen me pretty much their whole lives. But on the back end of this situation, man, I got 2 other grown daughters out here that, whether they looking to get into a relationship, looking to start a family, uh, hoping that me being in their lives, showing them love, showing them affection, showing them reassurance and reassurance that when they get ready to start a family, prayerfully they'll be in a different mindset, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, career-wise. So we don't talk about it. Let's talk about it, bro. I'm 18. I'm in Korea. I got a baby. Boom. I get out 4 years later. You know what I'm saying? Have another child. At this time, I was waiting tables, man. I feel like I should have been further along in my life. I actually sat in the kitchen and talked to my son. I believe it was Monday, and I was just telling him, I was like, you come from a two-parent home, my boy. Uh, and in this two-parent home, use, whether it's mental, physical, verbal, emotional, you don't see that. So my hope is that when you go out here into the world, hey, do not have a child before you're ready. See, I didn't have nobody to educate me. You know what I'm saying? Grandma prayed for me. I didn't have anybody to educate me. So when it came time for girls and sex and this and the other, hey, I was flying by the seat of my pants, literally. You know what I'm saying? My first experience, you know, like trying to pinch a watermelon seed. I repeating that cycle of a broken home, bro, is it's very hard because you see these kids growing up. One is in Cali, one is on the South Side. But now they see me married, and these 2 kids are always in the house. There can be what's the word? There could be an optic that because these kids are in the house, that these kids are loved more than the other kids. You know what I'm saying? As I went through life, man, a few years ago, I got tattoos covered up because back when I was banging, of course, I tried to off myself. I was an alcoholic. I was addicted to drugs, popping pills, volumes. I was emotionally, like mentally, bro. I was a mess. So after that suicide attempt, man, I decided to try to get my stuff together. Again, we'll backtrack holistically at another point in time. But it brings us now to where we are. We're talking about hope. So what I've done up until this point in time in my life, whether it's my marriage, my relationship with my kids, relationship with family, friends, or otherwise, I can only hope that I've presented myself. And most people who've been in my life for a while, they know who I used to be. They know how I used to be. And people, when they see that of you, they draw that conclusion, that they draw their synopsis of this is who you are. But understand that I could be existing, but not living.
Yeah.
Over these last 20 years of my life, man, I've begun to live. My relationship with my kids have flourished. My relationships with my wife has flourished. My relationship with friends and other people have flourished because now I have self-esteem. Those issues that I didn't have, I'm not projecting onto other people. Oh, but Tony, how does that fall into hope and how it's needed? See, when you go to try to become a better person, there's always going to be obstacles in the way.
Yeah,
Hey, hope, prayer, action. Like for real, hope, prayer, action. And I say prayer and action because faith without works is dead, y'all. If we can sit here and ask for God something all day long, but if we're not moving, those legs of faith alone, meaning we got to take some type of action. Because if you're not taking action, you're like that. We all heard the parable or the story of the man on the roof during the flood. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's starting to flood. House got flooded, man jumped up on the roof. Boat came by. Hey, you know what I'm saying? No more boats is coming to save you. Hey, I'm waiting on God. You know what I'm saying? A helicopter comes by. This is the last pass. Come on and get aboard. I'm waiting on God. Man perishes, is up in heaven. It's like, God, why did you not save me when I was depending on you? God was like, I sent you a boat, I sent you a raft, I sent you a helicopter. What was you waiting on? Y'all, sometimes we miss the boat. Sometimes we miss the plane. Sometimes we miss the helicopter because we want to sit and wait. We don't want to move. So, I'm trying to figure out how you know what? I'm not gonna say you, how we're comfortable where we are or not comfortable, and we want more, but we refuse to do more. Again, as you change your life. When I married this woman, I was hoping this was my last marriage, just like the first one. Hey, I was hoping that was my only. All we got daily is hope. What doesn't come out in the wash will come out in the rinse, but we got to govern ourselves accordingly, man. We have to treat people the way that people should be treated. Strangers. I made a post earlier, man. We got to stand in the gap for people because and I'm gonna turn it over to you, bro. When we stand in the gap for people, we fill in that need that they may have. It could be just an ear because I need to talk to you. It could be a text, you know what I'm saying? Hey, I'm checking on you, man. I'm good. Appreciate you checking on me. It could be, I need $20 to put in my tank to get me to payday tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So if we're not acting in the way that we want people to act for us when we're in need, we have now disregarded somebody else's hope. So when we start to talk about hope, man, everything that we do for somebody, whether it's buying groceries, you open the door for somebody, that starts to build hope. It's not about race, it's not about religion, but we start to build hope in the human race, the human mankind race, y'all. See, I feel like that every time we try to come together, whether you black, white, Asian, Indian, African, whatever the case may be, they sprinkle some more salt in the game to further divide us.
Mm-hmm.
Man, hope is going to keep that community together. You know what community is?
Yep.
Common unity between you and I.
Yeah.
So, bro, that's a quick synopsis of what I got cracking today. Because without hope, man, where would I be?
Yeah,
like,
true that.
Mama prayed for me, hoping that I became a better man. But God cannot override her prayers for my actions. I had to choose to be a better man.
Mm-hmm.
So talk to me, bro. What you got, man?
So sometimes you do things, man, and you think you distracted and you think it's an error. But in the instance, I realized that I wasn't distracted, and that indeed to take heed of what you're writing down because it has a value. What do I mean? So I was preparing for tonight's show and just had my little bullet points that I wanted to kind of discuss and indeed ask you. And so one of the things that I was going to ask was, as it pertains to hope, have you ever had to lean on it? And when I went to write it, ever had to, instead of writing lean, I realized, you're not paying attention, D. You just wrote the word learn. And I got ready to put a line through it. And as I got the line right to the A and it was crossing into the R, I stopped. And I said, no, I hear you. I have had to learn from hope. I meant to say, have you ever had to lean on hope?
Right.
But the reality is there's came times that we've had to learn from hope. And so, some of the transparency, man, like, when we recorded last time and I gave just a real quick summary of what we spoke about at the First Lifey Awards. And I talked about the Goldilocks spirit. And, real quick for y'all lifers that's just tapping, the Goldilocks spirit is ideally, man, you think that everything just has to be perfect. You know what I mean? You complain if somebody does something one way too fast. If the next group does it too slow, you still complaining. It's got to be perfect. You got this Goldilocks spirit. And and then went from that to by last week, bro. My mindset has shifted into even looking at things, like I said, from the value of when to say, whew, it wasn't a bad day, but and was instantly
Right.
chastised, only bad days when they stop coming. And then it went to the next step, bro. And my subconscious heard this. I am at work and I've got both my monitors up. I've got my little music playing in the background, real soft, elevator style, right? Yeah. Man, I just knew there were some changes that had to come about, and I got to be the one to do some things. And so I said, I'm gonna set the tone in this place and environment. And so I started to just get my little gospel going real low for a couple of days, right? And so I'm doing my normal routine, and I heard something that caught my attention to where I stopped, closed all my screens out, and I went to the source of the music. Bro, I'd never heard this song before. Ty Tribbett's Only for a Night. Only one night, though. Man, when I tell you, I don't know how because that's my dude, man. I don't know how I've never heard this song. Bro, after 2 minutes of listening to this song, I knew at my desk with my tie looking dapper. You heard? I had to hit pause, bro. Nah, I had to just hit pause because it was like it was like that.
Yeah.
I came home, resumed. And this is the full 10-minute joint, man. And morning truly does bring joy, bro. Joy definitely does come in the morning. The reality is everybody doesn't know when the morning comes. But I can say last week, I seen the sunshine for the first time, bro. And I felt that morning coming. And I felt a hope renewed that I can say I haven't had in years. And it was something about the things that was just happening that just was binging my soul. If you sad, you can be sad, but only for a night, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And these tears they make, and every little thing, whether the things that make you upset, you know what I'm saying? The people that betrayed you, the people that were supposed to rock with you, turn their back on you, you know what I'm saying? That showed the line in the sand, who family, who not, or your job went this way, or all these different things. You thought you've been doing all this and this for kids, and you never know, one day they don't, whatever it might be. And bro, like, I literally could feel the chains falling off, right? And it's crazy because to be betrayed, abandoned, feel like you're not loved, feel like you're not supported, people done played in your face, people getting better than you, still getting the less, all those different types of things, bro. When I tell you, in the instance went away. Now, I still don't F with you, but I ain't tripping. So, bro, bam, listen, man. So full, but on the real, that's what Hope really had for me, man. So I had to learn from Hope. I also had to lean on Hope, and in the midst of preparing for this, the reality was, I do definitely understand that I have made decisions, that my life decisions have impacted somebody else's livelihood. And you don't always see how that happens. And sometimes you can't even see how it's going to be restored. And I've had to put my hope and trust in those situations, because it was definitely nothing that I can do to reverse what I had already done, or the things that my mind knew I was going to do, or whatever that looks like for whatever situation in life. So just putting my hope in those situations. So, bro, like, have you ever known somebody, man? Maybe that was just full of hope, right? Every time you talk to them, you know what I'm saying? It was nothing but all 32 teeth showing. Somebody could have called them ugly. They gonna still, hey, regardless, like it don't matter what you say to them.
Yeah,
They're gonna be on the up and up. And that same person, something has happened, a life event, a job loss, sibling, child, parent, something that has stripped and robbed them of that joy. And they're, let's say, looking to have it restored. Now in this place, because they've experienced it, and now they're suffering from an emotional, and I'm even say spiritual. And for those who don't believe it's spiritual, you just say metaphysical, okay? If you don't believe, you just say metaphysical. But at this particular point, somebody's impacted emotionally and spiritually. Bro, how can they get hope reimagined, rejuvenated? Like, what would you tell that person? What would you want to see?
So in 2016, man, my mom passed. And for everybody, you know what I'm saying? It's my grandma, great aunt.
Yeah.
But that was my mama, man. She raised me from 3 months. When she passed, man, I'll never forget, yo. Like, I was still ministering, actively preaching. I had just started at Bank of America. It was like November 21st or something like that. And 2 weeks later, man, mom was like, all right, you know, you're married, you got a good job, I'm out of here.
Mm-hmm.
When I tell you, bro, I'm not gonna get into specifics at this moment just because it's not the place or the time, but
yeah.
the support or support lack of that I received.
Mm-hmm.
Now, keep in mind I'm preaching, I'm ministering, I'm working, still a family man, all of that. Of course, when mama passed, yo, it was like a piece of me. I had to recover from that. The hope that I had in people for about a year, almost 2 years, bro, it was wiped out. I'm not gonna sit here and lie. That hope I had in people, it was wiped out because I felt like that I had selflessly served, selflessly gave, selflessly did. And now here it is that this is one of the biggest events that I've ever had in my life. And I'm on Gilligan's Island. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So coming from that person who always had hope, who always preached hope, spoke hope, you know what I'm saying? Didn't have a bad day. You know, I was thinking about what Cam was saying, you know, at the event. It was like, hey, this dude don't ever have a bad day. I couldn't go to church, bro. Like, I couldn't hear. Like, I could not hear.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear the voice of God. I couldn't stand to hear praise and worship because, you know, when I would go, because I'm like, it's like a double-minded situation.
Yeah.
About a year in, man, I noticed myself because I was actually doing Kingdom Talk Radio at that time. I felt my anger, my disappointment start coming out on Kingdom Talk through God's word. Can't do that.
Yeah.
So I quit. About a year later, man, I noticed like my spirit had changed. Who I was had changed, and I'm like, God, I need for you to heal my heart, man. Like I'm cold. Like I'm not with this right now. It took time. I can't. I don't want to use the word confront, but some people that I hadn't talked to about that situation, I rapped to about it. We agreed to disagree or however it fell out, and I began to rebuild my hope, bro. You're a big reason for my hope because, of course, you know, like what 21 said. Hey, I've been betrayed before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've been betrayed. I'm talking about 20 years deep. And it makes you lose hope in people that are not blood, but then you already don't have hope in people who are blood for real.
Yeah.
That path to recovery, and I understand that I mentioned God, and look, I understand God might not be everybody's thing. You got to start back and center yourself again, man. What brings you joy? What makes you happy? What makes you smile? You got to start taking that time for yourself, because when mama passed, I just started the job I took the day she passed at her funeral. No other time I took, because I was trying to, get this position and be in position. Man, that's the recovery, bro. It's a lot of sleepless nights, just thoughts running through your head.
Yeah.
It's when you driving, no music, window down, just with the breeze and your thoughts. But to recover that light, you're changed. And I know we've heard this in another scenario before, but you're changed. You're changed because, yes, as you've lost a piece of you, which can cause you to lose hope, you have to understand that there's still growing to do.
Yeah, facts.
There's still more to life. There's still more to love. There's still more to relationships, man. And as you begin to trust and hope again, because look, I've seen people lose parents, lose kids, lose siblings, lose spouses, and hope is all out the window, because my hope was to spend the rest of my life with my spouse.
Yeah.
My hope was that me and this person was going to be friends forever. My hope was, hey, you was my best cousin. I hope that we stayed that way. But your hope is not precedented on someone else's actions.
Yeah.
Your hope is not even precedented on your own actions. What do you mean, Tony? We've all been in situations to where we're scrambling, especially if your husband, wife, got kids, got a family to look after. We've all had Death Valley situations.
Yeah.
And the thing is that when we're in Death Valley, they call it Death Valley because why? Nothing grows, or so they say. Aren't there cactuses in Death Valley? Okay. You go find scorpions and ants and all that in Death Valley? Oh, okay. So now we have to look at the fact that our hope should never be surface level. Because if you look out into Death Valley, you see cactus, you don't see what's under the sand. Our hope should always be rooted, embedded. Because when it is, when life starts lifing, you're not blowing in the wind because your hope was easily changed. Know yourself. This last statement, bro, because I know I've talked quite a bit this show because it's personal.
Yeah.
The last thing is, man, apologies. We talked about it a couple of weeks ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, man. Did you apologize to yourself?
Yeah.
Did you tell yourself I love you? When was the last time? You know what, bro? Since that last time, I may have said it once. Let's keep it a buck. We get up every day with hope that when we leave our house, stop by the gas station, we go to work. We hope that day we don't get fired. We hope on payday that we're going to get paid. We hope that when we hop back in the car, we'll make it home safe. We hope that our wife and our kids are still safe and everyone is still intact. We hope that we don't get any phone calls that this person is transitioned or this and that has happened. We hope that when we watch sports that our team is going to win. We hope that when we make this dinner that we're not going to burn. Hope is embedded in everything that we do on a daily basis.
Very true.
And if you need to get help to reestablish your hope, I hope that you get that help.
True that. I think it's really important, man, that you have outlets for yourself. You mentioned living for other people and really putting your faith and happiness. you see it a lot of times, whether it's marriages, whether it's a parental situation where somebody is almost living for other people. I know in my adult life, it was first visible during the COVID movement. You're seeing it on national TV that divorce levels are taking off because it is now being brought to the light that two people that have lived together forever, married for 15, 20, 30 years, don't like each other.
Yeah.
But now it only gets exposed because you're forced to be around each other with nobody else as a barrier, nobody else as a buffer, nobody else to help facilitate a conversation, nobody else to come in and whisk you away if it gets awkward. Like, you have to sit in this moment. And there were so many people who could not thrive and continue to go on in that environment. So you have to be able to do things that's important for self.
Yeah.
And if you don't know what that is, start trying any and everything. You know, whether it's painting, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's poetry, it could be art, it could be reading. I don't know, you could professional handstander. I don't know, find something. Find something, man, that's gonna delight you, you know what I'm saying? That's gonna tickle your fancy. You feel me? Like, you do you, but
Yeah.
for hope for me, I had a conversation with my kids a few months back, and the transparency, and that was, you know, just always been there. Day one been there, you know what I'm saying? But apologize for how I've raised you, because while you're saying the way that I've raised has been sufficient, that it did what it needed to do, because look where they got produced. Look who we are. But I had to apologize from the standpoint that a lot of the parenting I realized was out of fear. And so I want people to really understand and comprehend that there's a difference between hope and fear. There's a difference between hope versus fear. And so, again, whether it's parenting, whether it's being a spouse, you know what I'm saying? The blend and the tie with hope is, I have to put my trust in something greater than myself, because I can't do it all. That's me. You know what I mean? I understand everybody, you know what I'm saying, got a different flavor of ice cream, bro. You understand me? I understand that for somebody, they might feel like they do it on their dolo. They don't need a God. There is no, I get all of that they are controller everything. And to a certain extent, I would agree, because we were made in the image and the likeness. That's what I believe. We have power. We can speak those things that are not as though they are. So I understand exactly who I am. And so my hope is in that. The reality that you have to be careful of with the fear, bro, is that because we have so much insight on things, so much experience, we have been avid readers. We have looked to elders and got some information. We had seen things. So we know how real life can get, how the streets can get, how people that say they your people can turn their back. You know what I'm saying? That the knife is always ready to jab in your back. Like, we see these things. And so now our parenting, now how we live our lives, our day-to-day, how we operate on the job, how we talk to our spouse, just how we react to certain things. That's why you can't text everybody, bro, is this right here, because now that fear comes to the forefront. Word up. You can't even text everybody certain things, because the way that they're going to respond and kick it back, because their livelihood is conditioned and driven based on fear versus hope. They're so fearful. And I recognize that I've rapped about it in songs. I've done poetry. You know what I'm saying? If this phone of mine rings at the wrong hour, you know what I'm saying? If I'm at work and I'm looking down at this phone and it's a particular sibling that's calling me, and I know you don't call me now because you know where I'm at, my heart already starts to, you know what I'm saying, get out of rhythm. I can feel my anxiety. You understand? Because that's fear. And what I had to realize is that is not who we are. I ain't that. You understand? So referencing back to a song that like it was almost like, bro, like the old manager. You know what I'm saying? You done got out of shape a little bit. You used to be a monster, knocking them out the box. You hear me? Who on press? Who on get them? Who on get them hands? So you just knocking people out the box left and right. You done gained a little weight, and you decide one day I'm gonna get back in the gym, get my size back, get my my little hands feet. And walking across the box in front is your old manager. And my man is carrying that championship belt you used to have like this. And you see that. And you remember who you was. And that is what hope is for me. Hope is that reassurance that I don't ever want nobody to get, I don't care who you is out there. Don't ever think because you see me, you know what I'm saying? Like whatever time I'm on in public, don't ever get it twisted like I don't really know who I am. I know who I am. And just because you might not think that I'm moving in that manner, don't ever get that thing twisted.
Indeed, bro.
And so that the concept of hope is for me just that hope and that fear. How you balance that thing out, bro. So, hey, we here. Hope has brought us this far.
I'm gonna speak to something real quick, man, because I want to keep it 100.
Yep.
So as we sit here today, you know what I'm saying, in our homes, roof over our head, internet going, we got clothes, shoes, food, you know what I'm saying? It's easy for us to talk about hope.
Yeah.
Let's keep it a buck, man. It's easy for us in our comfort to speak on hope. The May 16 tornadoes, as just recently, it shows, man, that people hoped that the city was gonna do the right thing. And I'm just watching the news last night, and it's still a vast majority of the neighborhood people and people volunteering that's getting things done. Now, I may not be 100% accurate. Insurance is taking care of some people, but it's easy that when it rains and there's no water coming in our house because we have a roof and there are no tarps, it's easy for us to talk about hope.
Yep.
There are people who unfortunately have run out of hope and lost trust in hope. Unfortunately, bro, I would have been one of those people if God had not preserved my life. We see it on the news, and we talked about, you know what I'm saying, mental landmines. We see it on the news where someone takes their own life and possibly takes out their spouse and their kids. We've seen mothers drive cars into rivers, and we've seen mothers, do unspeakable things. We've seen fathers and mothers in a relationship, and something happened to where somebody lost hope and they decided to take out everybody else.
Yep.
We seen just last year the young man on West Florissant. Whatever life event happened in his life, this man crashed his car and he's walking down West Florissant shooting in the air. Hope is gone.
Yep.
So as we sit here and we talk about hope from our comfort zone, man, can we take a couple of minutes and, if you were in front of one of those people right before the act was committed, would there be something that you feel like that you could say? Yeah, it's speculatory because, the event has happened. But I want people to understand, man, believe in yourself. Look, things happen to everybody. Cars may get repossessed, cars will break down, evictions may happen to where you may have to move, but you still got your life. Divorces may happen. I'm a divorcee. You know what I'm saying? You a divorcee, but we found life and was able to move on. Relationships will fall apart, especially when you're courting. But you got to understand that your will cannot necessarily be imposed on someone else. Everybody got free will. We have to understand that as we grow, we mature. What's the age of maturity, bro? 24?
25, yeah.
By 24, I had 2 kids. On child support. You know what I'm saying? I could have gave up. When you have your life, all things are possible. I understand. But my boy, you're not begging for change on the corner. Hey, I set up a GoFundMe before. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's keep it a buck. There was a time where I was at my lowest low, like I said, when I tried to give up, man. And through the grace of God, I'm here. And because I was preserved, I had a chance to think different, act different, walk different, talk different, do different. And I took that opportunity to do so. I'm gonna pass it to you, bro, because it was something that just jumped up in me, man, which is like, yo, let's speak to it, because there are people out there that are not as fortunate as we are.
Yeah, that's very true. And just to kind of piggyback on that, man, like, want to be crystal clear that not even from a compassionate standpoint is this conversation happen. And on the contrary, there's not a lack thereof if we're saying, oh, you need to have hope. Okay, there's certain situations we understand it's going to be real grim. You know what I'm saying? For a lot of people, they've lost things that cannot be replaced. Death is forever. At least on this side that we're still on, death is forever. And so you can't spin the block back for certain relationships. You can't let certain things repeat. And so you can't easily tell a person like that, you know what? It's been 5 years. You need to move on. We can't control and tell somebody how to feel. So with that being the case, that everybody heals in different phases in different time frames. And we've had shows before where we spoke about grief and the 5 different stages of grief. That being the case, man, I really want to let people know this is why it's important to stop playing so doggone much. I seen people post something, man, and it could be a situation somebody has passed away, and here comes somebody making humor of it. You know what I'm saying? Here comes somebody always joking about it, and then you want to defend it with their actions. And I don't care what anybody say, regardless of what this person, you know what? As long as you got somebody in your family that's behind prison that you know good and well, or maybe they just didn't get caught, that you know took the life of somebody. I don't want to hear you trying to say, "Oh, they was racist. That's why I'm not going to tell them R.I.P." Hey, you can't get no more racist and slaughtering your own. So if you're going to have that same energy one way, have it every way. So I say stop playing so much, because even with death, we will make humor out of a situation instead of empathizing and being sympathetic towards somebody. And so my question would be, bro, what if you could see into the future? And this is a rhetorical question to y'all lifers. But if you could see into the future and this next encounter with this person that you had, depending on whether you smiled or you had a face of hatred, that was going to be the decision on the type of day they would have for some. Whether somebody was going to say, screw everything, I'm going to take my own life when I get home. What if you had this remote that could see that? Would you still go by, it don't matter, I'm going to just treat people, I'm a troll, I'm going to do this? Or would you be more mindful and responsible? Would you be more responsible with your words? Right? What if one phone call could be the difference on whether somebody is alive or potentially gone? And for all of y'all that don't think it's important, that when you get this feeling, hey, pick up the phone and check on this person. When you think it's just, I don't know, I'm just tripping, I hit them up tomorrow. What if in that moment that phone call was the difference on whether they would live or not?
Yeah, and bro, indeed, bro.
And bro, I'm going to say this real quick. The reason why I say that, I had a conversation about a year back. I got a phone call from somebody, and this person told me they told me the exact date, and they said, "D, you don't even know this, but this day you called me." They said they were actively on the highway looking for those metal medium barriers that they could take their life against. And ideally, what they were going to do, because they were so heartbroken in the stage of life, their hope was so gone. But they did not want to leave a torn legacy or name. So if I do it like this, it'll give the impression it's a car accident. Tragic as it is, I will have done the job that I wanted for myself, and I would have preserved the image of who I am to my kids. He said, but you call. So I say that quick story, man, to tell all y'all, man, men in general, we have an obligation and a responsibility. And if you ever would take time to get in some of these groups, man, I'm in Black Men Mental Health Matters groups, and some of the stories that I come across, man, if they don't restore your hope and salvation, if they don't make you appreciative for what you got, you bugging. Because some stuff people going through, bro. So be the difference that you want for yourself. Pick up the phone, call people. You don't got to know somebody to smile and say how you doing. Everybody's not your enemy. Treat people like your loved ones and comrades. Everybody wants to be brothers and sisters. If I have something to give you, but you can't say nothing to me when the opportunity fails. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was people's right-hand man when they crib caught fire, bro. You understand? They hit my line every single day. D to the J. Do you want to play? Everybody is all kiki kaka. You hear me? Until everything passed inspection and codes was done. And so these are the things, folks, that we got to put hope in and let go when people do certain things. Give it up. You understand me? It's all right to be mad, but only one night, though.
Yeah.
D to the J, bro. I ain't got nothing else to say.
First of all, I'm going to shout out Kev tonight, man. Watching in. Hey, appreciate your time tonight. My soapbox this evening is going to be like this, man. The constant hope that we have is always going to be for tomorrow. When we lay down at night, we eat our dinner, say our prayers, we go to sleep. When we go to sleep that night, we're in anticipation of waking up tomorrow. Unfortunately, some people have that hope, but never reach that mark. I'm gonna say this tonight, bro, because I believe hope comes with meekness. When I say meekness, I mean it's not heady.
Yeah,
It's
no
not
arrogance.
look at me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So on this night, man, as we talk about hope, I hope that everyone from my past that I've wronged, maybe said something out the way to, that I've reached out over the years and apologized. Because based on our relationship, whether it was, friendship, courtship, whatever the case may be, I could have been the reason as a father, as a friend, as a coworker, that you lost hope in something. Tonight, I apologize for that, y'all. Again, no excuses. You know what I'm saying? But as you get older, you get wiser, you learn better, you attempt to do better. We see it on the movies, man, all the time, and I'm making a little fun of it to where, people be having a list in their crib. Like, all right, he on the list. So at this point in time, I'm gonna start taking out people on my list. And I'm being facetious about it, y'all, but I'm really serious. Because unfortunately, when you lose hope in somebody, sometimes there's a grudge that comes behind it. And unfortunately, with hatred in your heart, even though it was for someone else for what they done to you, look, you can forgive. Move on with your life. Because if you stay right where you are at that point in time, then you miss out on your chance of forgiveness and salvation as well. I don't care how you slice it or dice it. If someone has made you lose hope in something, whether it's a job or relationship, sometimes you got to have those conversations with people. Last of all, on tonight, man, the last leap of hope that I took was definitely for my wife. You know, raised two different ways, come from two different backgrounds, two different families. But I can only hope I've been the husband, the mate, the friend, the comforter, the father that you wanted in your life. I appreciate you even taking my hand in marriage, man. But I hope as we continue to grow, that all of your needs continue to be met, bro. From one brother to another, man. And I know I said it earlier in the show. My hope in you for you, man, it's strong. I appreciate you who you are as a person holistically. Lastly, man, when my time comes and I'm able to transition from this realm, which we all will, someday, somehow, some way, I can only hope that I placed enough information in my kids' life that they can start to make educated decisions. I can only hope that the 20, 30, 40, 50 years that I've worked on this earth, that I have something to show for it when it's my time to get up out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
For everyone that watches this episode, my hope for you is that you have life and life more abundantly. I understand we have health, we have financial, we have relationship issues. Hey, as we said, life gonna keep on lifing. We're gonna continue to talk about it. But understand that if this word tonight is falling on your ears, whether it's a replay tomorrow, or 3 weeks, or 3 years, or 30 years from now, understand that as long as you possess life, your heart is beating, your lungs are expanding and contracting, breathing air, you have a chance. You hear me? Yeah, you got a chance. Take that chance. The best thing I did in life, man, was bounce back after my suicide attempt.
Facts.
Can't say life has been easy, but it's been worth
Facts.
living.
Facts.
Hey, that's all I gotta say, bro.
Yeah.
I'm off my
Yeah.
soapbox for the night, man.
Yeah.
Anything you want to add before we slide tonight, bro? Because
Hey,
I'm
we
like
gonna let
I'm
this.
trying not to
Yeah.
get
Nah, bro.
yeah,
But
yeah,
but
yeah.
but but this is the thing, man. As we wrapping this thing up, this is why these shows are important. You know, we joke, we can laugh, we can find humor in a lot of things. And even in the serious conversations, it's okay to smile and crack a joke every now and again. But the purpose behind this was to let folks know the reality is we all go through things. It might be on different levels. Everybody's going through something. So you're not alone.
Yeah.
Find somebody that you can confide in, that you can talk to, that is going to help you get through something and not use it to weaponize. And more importantly, just understand that if it's not something that has a permanent ending, such as death, you know what I mean? Whatever it is, like, hey, it's gonna come, man. And it might take a long time, man. I done had anger issues for a long time. And when I say that, I'm not talking about to the standpoint to where some people can't control certain things that they just lashing out, but angry over little things, can't
Yeah.
let things go.
Yeah.
Will rather starve than have you feed me if I don't have if that's the feelings I have for you. That type of
Right.
anger that can build to hatred. Those are the things that I say we got to let go, and why I said when it came to hope, I had to learn / lean on it. So, bro, with that being the case, man, I appreciate you. Thank you for rocking it out tonight. Lifers, we appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Bro, take us out of here. Let's sign it off and let's do what it do.
Well, like I say, bro, y'all know we every other Wednesday. So next Wednesday is gonna be a recap. this is what I need for y'all to do. We check in the comments on the recap. We on live, so if there's a question or whatnot, comment. We'll be able to expound upon it.
And the
I want y'all to
context of
tell
the
us tonight,
website.
man.
Yep.
Yeah, I want y'all to tell us tonight, man. What does hope mean for you? How have you lost and regained? How do you cope every day? You know what I'm saying? Because hey, we can't be the only ones it's happening to.
Facts.
But at the end of the day, life is gonna keep on lifing, and we're gonna be here to talk about it. I apologize for not being better prepared with my light today. Should have charged it this morning, but I'm your host, Tony D.
I'm your host, D to the J. Still in the building like I ain't never left, and it's still a G thing. Shout out to heaven. And it's like that.
We hope y'all catch us in 2 weeks.
Hope y'all check this replay.